We have more cases of art tracing because I don't know why this never stops. So we have this post on Twitter by Twitter user Tonyo, who goes by the handle TonyoVT, posting, "Hey friends, beware the artist you commission. I caught this artist tracing my commission request from work by another artist. I know I have a lot of mutuals with this artist. They admitted to tracing the work. Proof below." And they attached a photo of this person's page. They went by the handle Raume with the handle like Paimon Nikyu. Then Tonyo adds received work, overlay, and the other artist's work. So this is the received work they got from Paimon or Raume. And then if you overlay it, literally overlaps 1-to-1. Like, this is actually crazy. Like, the bangs, the hand, everything. And then some more context in the comments. So Andress adds, "I'm sorry that happened, but from what I've seen them post, they do seem really sorry about it. I don't know if they've spoken to you past the refund or anything, but they do seem to regret it. I'm not trying to start anything, by the way. I just wanted to let you know since it seems like you can't see their posts." Antonio adds, "Yeah, they went private. I asked them to prove their other work wasn't traced and they couldn't. I understand they're trying to pay for school, but lying to customers is unfair." And Andros adds, "I'm sorry about that. If it helps, they did make a thread showing their process and what they traced. I just found out about this early yesterday/the night before, so I didn't know who the person they were talking about was until I came across this post. I follow both of you, and I hope things can be worked out between the two of you." So these are some posts that Raume made that we can no longer see because they're no longer online. But they add proof number 1. I'm sorry if I'm slow putting proofs because I take videos of it because it takes too much time if I download the time lapse. So we can see kind of like a drawing photo. And then proof number 9, and here they show a real person they're drawing over, and they said, "Yes, last, I used a real person here from Pinterest. I don't know if this is also considered as bad, but yes, if it is, then I'm sorry." And here we have somebody called Yuki adding, "Not to take sides, but if you're paying attention, before they privated their account, they posted numerous time lapses of their artwork that they have done showing they don't usually trace. They also apologized and explained how they are very sorry." And they also added, "It's so easy to point a finger and say, you did this mess up, you're a horrible person forever for your mistake. They took ownership. They refunded you, they apologized, and said they would never do it again. If you don't want to commission them again, then don't." Antonio adds, "I don't remember ever saying they were a horrible person. I did say they shouldn't be taking commissions if they're tracing work. The time lapses weren't there prior to them going private. After I unfollowed them, I could no longer see it. I asked them to DM me proof before making this post, which they couldn't. They sent an edited time lapse and a video that didn't load. I had to ask 3 times for my money back after they admitted several times to tracing. I have a right to tell my friends not to commission them or to be wary of the situation because I understand they're doing it to pay for school, but they shouldn't be taking credit for somebody else's work. I understand tracing can be a good learning tool. I've tried to learn to draw that way before too, but never on a paid service because that's not right." And the other person says, "Sorry, but the time lapses were there prior to them going private. They went private after they posted those. Also, maybe here's a solution. If people are worried about them tracing their commission, then ask for the time lapse as proof before the rendering phase is over." Antonio adds, "This commission didn't come with any updates. There was no way for me to check the work. I reached out to commission, they asked me to pay, and they delivered the next day, and the work was entirely traced. I don't know why it's the commissioner's responsibility to make sure service providers aren't cheating or taking shortcuts in their work. That's not correct." And basically, this other person says that it is the commissioner's job to make sure that the artist is doing what they should because you're the one who spent the money, which that makes for another interesting debate. Again, don't send hate to any parties involved. I'm just curious as to your thoughts. Do you think it's the commissioner's responsibility in some way, shape, or form, maybe not like 100% responsibility, but some responsibility to make sure the artist isn't shortcutting, cheating, and tracing? And here we have Rin or Suika Rin adding, "Hi, I'm the artist of the supposedly traced work. Per said their account went private, so I can't access the proofs they've posted, nor have I heard anything from them. Even if they apologize, it still doesn't make it right to all parties involved. The art used was a commission as well." And Andra says, "Yes, you are correct. I've spoken to them and they deeply regret it and said they would never do it again. It does suck that your art was traced though, and I hope it never happens again." And Rin adds, "Yeah, I'm glad they apologized and refunded Tonyo, but I wish they publicly owed it up, or at least personally apologized because I only found out from Tonyo. It's more to the fact that they traced the commission work than the tracing itself, honestly." And Andra says, "Yeah, I get what you mean. I think they privated because they were getting a lot of hate." And this is Rin, the artist, and this is their page where you can see their artwork. Their artwork is really, really, really pretty. And then we had other people that also commissioned this person. So Yu writes, "Oh god, I recently sent them money for an artwork. I haven't heard back about it now, but I'm worried they might trace from mine too." And Tonyo says, "Before I made this post, I tried to tell if this was just a one-off thing, and I told them they could refund me and prove they didn't trace all their work, and I wouldn't make this post. They couldn't prove it, so And Yu says, oh no, maybe I should ask for a refund. And Antonio says they also lied because they told me they didn't have any more commissioners. And then Yu asked, did they provide a refund when you asked for one? Antonio says they did after the third time I asked, and it was from a separate account than the one I paid, since they had to make another PayPal account. And here with another person by the name of Nua writing, the one time I commissioned off VGen. I hope I don't receive something traced. Tonio says they told me they didn't have any more commissioners, so they lied. And Nua says, yeah, that's untrue. I've been waiting for mine for weeks. I asked for an update a few hours ago, and they said their tablet broke and they're doing comms on phones, so they're slow at the moment. So this whole thing is really unfortunate. They've since changed their username and privated their account. So I'm not going to show their new username or anything, but it really just sucks. They clearly can draw. They clearly have the skill. I don't know why they went out of their way to like trace a piece. Even if you're desperate to pay for school, whatever, like you can earn money ethically instead of having to go shortcut around it. It's just violating to the artist Rin and any other artist you trace off of for that matter to be doing stuff like that. But to wrap this all up, I have another post that's a little bit sad, but also a little bit funny. So this is a post on Threads by somebody by the name of Nate in the Wild. And Nate writes, too cheap to license a photo and think you can get around that by embedding IG posts? Not on my watch. And it is a photo of an article that was written something about Washington, talking about why you need to go to Washington, etc. And they embedded a photo that Nate took. And you can see at Nate in the Wild embedded via Instagram. And then Nate on their Instagram, you can see delete post. And then now it just says image not available. This image has been deleted by the owner. This is just a really funny kind of like fuck you, honestly. And Nate added more context, writing, this is left containment, so here's the full story. Narcity asked if they could use my photo. I said yes and told them how much I charge. They said, oh, never mind, and instead chose to embed my Instagram post rather than pay the amount I quoted them. Again, after they asked me. So I deleted my post so they didn't have access to my image anymore. And of course, we have these weird AI people pulling in, this Jar Field person writing, too cheap to license a photo 2025 version. So they took the photo that Nate took, stuck it in ChatGPT, and wrote, recreate this photo in high resolution, whatever. And then ChatGPT spat out an AI image. And then Not Axel says, great, now they'll show up looking for a non-existent trail with non-existent vegetation going through a non-existent mountain pass. You found such a perfectly dogshit use for AI. I don't know if to call you an imbecile or a genius. So I don't know why, man. All these AI bros feel like they top in these comment section getting the last laugh. To me, it just, get a hobby besides typing into a generator, okay? Please, truly, touch grass. But out of all this, I'm curious about your thoughts at the end of the day. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. Please be respectful. And as always, if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. We're pushing for 200K. Maybe we can get that. No, before my birthday is unrealistic, but by the end of this year, 200K. Fingers crossed. Hope, hope, hope. But yeah, so anyways, if you like this video, appreciate it. If you like us, wait, not me repeating my outro again. I also have a VGen now, so check me out there. And on Coffee, I have free resources for streamers and content creators. And I also stream on Twitch 3 days a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, Saturdays, 6 p.m. PST. Hope to catch you guys there or in another one of my videos. Peace.